Gordon's Big Race. It had been a hot spring day on the island of Sodor. All of Sir Topham Hatt's engines, as well as Mr. Percival's engines, were working really hard, delivering all their goods and passengers on time. Despite the hot spring weather, there had been more vacationers than usual, on Thomas's branch line especially. Annie and Clarabelle were often filled to bits with happy holiday makers, but that didn't stop Thomas, as Thomas was making his way to the beaches with the happy holiday makers. He didn't want to be late. However, since there had been more vacationers than usual, Gordon was feeling very pleased with himself. With more vacationers, that meant more visitors for the Express. Gordon was feeling very pleased. "The Express is coming through," Gordon said as he tooted his whistle. That's when, early the next morning, at the cold light of dawn, Gordon arrived. He was feeling very pleased with himself. Ha! "The Express is the most important job on the island," Gordon said pompously. "It's more important than any other job you think," Gordon said to Percy. Percy was cross. "Gordon, all jobs on the island are important, including the mail train. I'm up later than you guys are, and besides," Percy said, "I'm still a little tired from delivering all that mail last night." "All jobs are important, Gordon," Percy said to Gordon. Gordon laughed. "I find that hard to believe, little Percy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go and take these passengers up to Ulfstead Castle," Gordon said. That's when the doors closed on the express coaches, and the guard blew his whistle, and Gordon was off. "See you later, Percy," Gordon said as he chuffed away. "Big blue show-off," Percy said to himself. After Gordon had puffed off with the express, Percy was on his way to the coachyard to collect some coaches. He was going to be helping out Thomas on his branch line with all the extra passengers. Percy was a little nervous, but he was glad to be taking passengers again, as Percy puffed on his way to the coachyard. However, on his way there, Percy came to a stop. The signal was red. "I'm going to be late," Percy said to himself. Just then, Gordon steamed in with the express. He laughed when he saw Percy was on his way to collect some coaches. Percy, you're going to help take passengers again? Well, I still firmly think the express is the most important job on the island," Gordon said pompously to Percy. Percy rolled his eyes at Gordon. "Gordon, just like I told you, all jobs are important." "You're puffed up in your smoke box, Gordon," Percy said to Gordon. Gordon laughed. "What for, little Percy? Besides, I still firmly think the express is the most important job on the island." Percy rolled his eyes again. Says you, Gordon. All jobs are important," Percy said back to Gordon. That's when the signal changed to green, and Percy chuffed on his way to collect his coaches. Soon, Percy had arrived at the coachyard. He was coupled up to his coaches. He was still excited and nervous about collecting passengers, since he hadn't taken passengers in a very long time. But before Percy left, Gordon came back. Percy, we meet again," Gordon said to Percy. What do you want now, Gordon? Are you here to brag about how important the express is again?" Percy said to Gordon. "Well, yes," Gordon said. But an idea flew into Gordon's funnel. "Hey, Percy, I know a perfect way we should settle this little important job situation." Gordon said to Percy. Percy was a little confused. What do you mean, Gordon? And what's your idea? Percy said to Gordon. Gordon smiled. Well, why don't we have a race? Whatever engine reaches Vickerstown Station wins, Gordon said to Percy. Percy was surprised. Gordon, do you think racing isn't such a good idea? Besides, you almost got into trouble with Spencer not that long ago, Percy said to Gordon. Gordon smiled only a little bit. Well, Percy, that was partially Spencer's idea. And for this race, we'll race all the way from Knapford to Vickerstown. And whoever is the fastest wins, Gordon said to Percy. Percy thought and thought. And then he agreed. All right, Gordon. Deal, Percy said to Gordon. Soon, both engines had been coupled up to their coaches as Percy and Gordon made their way to Knapford Station for the race. Soon, that's when Gordon and Percy both arrived at Knapford Station to get ready for their race. All the passengers began to board their coaches. But before the race could start, Henry chuffed in. He was worried about the race. Gordon, do you think that racing isn't such a good idea? You guys may end up into a nasty accident or something. Plus, Gordon, that race with Spencer almost got you in trouble, Henry said to Gordon. Gordon laughed. Henry, that race was nothing. That was all Spencer's idea. And besides, I won that race. You're worrying about nothing, Henry. This race will be fine, Gordon said to Henry. Soon, all their passengers had finished boarding both of their coaches. Gordon's driver stepped out. Okay, you two. The race is going to start in 3. As Gordon and Percy eyed down one another. 2, 1, go! As both engines thundered out of Knapford Station very fast. After Gordon and Percy had thundered out of Knapford Station, both engines began to go very fast along the main line. I'm going to win! I'm going to win! Gordon said. No, I'm going to, Percy said to Gordon. Gordon looked again at Percy. We'll see who's going to win. That's going to be me, Gordon said to Percy. No, it's going to be me, Percy said, because of my nice green paintwork, and I help out with the mail train a lot, Percy said to Gordon. Then there was trouble. On Percy's line, the signal was green, but on Gordon's line, the signal was red. Percy began to puff on as fast as he could. But on Gordon's line, Douglas was making his way to Harwick. He was going to be taking passengers over to the beautiful beaches. Oh no, Douglas said, as he saw Gordon coming by. Luckily, the signalman changed the points. Just in time. Douglas was cross. Aye, Gordon, you nearly crashed into me, Douglas said crossly to Gordon. Sorry, Douglas, I didn't mean to. It's just for the race, that's all, Gordon said, as Percy and Gordon kept on going no matter what. After Douglas had gone to Harwick, Percy and Gordon began to thunder down the main line as fast as they could. Both engines were neck and neck, and were getting closer to Vickerstown. I'm gonna win because I'm the fastest engine here on the island, Gordon said to Percy. Well, part of that may be true, but I'm gonna win, Percy said, as the two engines began to get closer and closer to Vickerstown. As both engines began to get closer to Vickerstown, something happened. Something inside of Percy popped. Percy ground to a halt. Gordon came up. He was horrified at what had happened. "Percy, what happened?" Gordon said to Percy. "I don't know, Gordon. I just came to a stop. Driver, what happened to me?" Percy said to his driver. Percy's driver inspected him. "Percy, your valve has burst. You can't go on." "Oh," Percy sighed. Percy looked at his friend Gordon. "Gordon, you'll just win the race. Come on, you'll just win," Percy said to his friend Gordon. Gordon was in complete shock. He didn't know whether to help Percy or to continue on with the race. Gordon looked down at his buffers and thought. Then he made a choice. "No," Gordon said to Percy. Percy was shocked. "Wait, what do you mean no, Gordon?" Percy said to Gordon. "No, Percy, I'm not going to leave you here. You're my friend, and having a friend is the most important thing in the world than winning some silly race. I am very sorry I got puffed up in my smoke box, Percy. I'm going to help you take you to the works," Gordon said to Percy. Percy looked at his friend Gordon. "Oh, thank you, Gordon," Percy said to Gordon. "But wait," Percy added, "what about our passengers? Who's going to look after them?" Percy said to Gordon. Gordon looked at his friend Percy. "Two other engines will be helping out with our passengers. You're more important first, Percy, because I can't just leave you here." "Driver, uncouple me from my coaches," Gordon said to his driver. Soon, Gordon had been uncoupled from his express coaches as he buffered up behind his friend Percy. "Percy, I'm very sorry that I got too puffed up in my smoke box," Gordon said to Percy. "You're more important than our passengers. Come on, Percy, let's take you to the works," Gordon said. As Percy's driver coupled Percy up to Gordon, as the two friends set off for the works. After Gordon had been coupled up to Percy, and the two engines were on their way to the works, Spencer, as well as Duck, had come to help out while Gordon was taking Percy to the works for him to be repaired. Duck was very impressed from what he had heard about Gordon helping out Percy. "Can you believe how nice Gordon was helping Percy out?" Duck said to Spencer. "I know," Spencer boasted pompously. "I think what Gordon did was very nice. Very nice indeed. Now, come on, Duck. Let's go and take these passengers to their stations," Spencer said to Duck. As Duck and Spencer puffed on their way to drop off Gordon and Percy's passengers. Soon, Percy and Gordon both arrived at the works. Gordon was a little exhausted, but he couldn't have felt more proud helping out his friend in need. Sir Topham Hatt was there. He was most pleased with Gordon. "Gordon, I had heard about all of what you had done to help your friend out, Percy. I am very proud of you, Gordon, and as a special treat, you're going to be getting a new coat of paint, and Percy, you're also going to be getting a new coat of paint, and you'll be getting the day off. But for you, Gordon, I am most proud of you. What you did was a very heroic deed, helping out your friend in need," Sir Topham Hatt said to Gordon. Gordon beamed from buffer to buffer. "Oh, thank you, sir," Gordon said to Sir Topham Hatt. After Sir Topham Hatt had left, Gordon was glad that he had helped out his best friend Percy in need. Even though he was puffed up in his smoke box, he learned in the end not to be too puffed up. And Gordon learned that helping out friends is more important than winning a race.